sweet, savory, and packed with history. This is Inari Sushi, a sushi that doesn't need fish, just rice, tofu, and a bit of magic. Named after the Shinto god of rice, this dish has been loved in Japan for centuries. But how did foxes, tofu, and sushi come together? And more importantly, how can you make this at home? Let's dive into the history of Inari Sushi and make it step by step. Ever wonder why Japan's most unique sushi is wrapped in tofu? It all goes back to foxes and a rice god. In Japan, Inari is the Shinto god of rice and prosperity, and his messengers are mystical white foxes. But here's the fun part. Legend says these foxes love fried tofu. Farmers, hoping for good harvests, began offering fried tofus at Inari shrines to keep the foxes and the rice god happy. At some point, someone thought, why not stuff these tofu pockets with rice? And just like that, Inari Sushi was born. Sweet, savory, and totally satisfying. Even today, big Japanese companies like Shiseido have Inari shrines on their rooftops for good fortune. Now for today's recipe, we'll be using 2 cups of cooked sushi rice, which we will season with rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. I'll have the full recipe in the description below. For the tofu, we'll use fried tofu, which we will season with mirin, which is a sweet rice wine, soy sauce, sugar, and water. So let's get started. Take 1 piece of the fried tofu and pat it dry with a paper towel. In the States, you would normally find this in the freezer at an Asian grocery store, or you can get it online. I'll leave a link in the description below. Roll a chopstick over it to loosen the layers. Now cut it in half to create 2 pockets. If they're hard to open, roll them again with the chopstick. Repeat with the remaining tofu to get 10 tofu pockets total. Place all the tofu pockets in a frying pan, overlapping slightly. Now, in a bowl, mix the mirin, soy sauce, sugar, and water to create the simmering sauce. Pour the sauce over the tofu pockets in the frying pan. Gently press down on the tofu to remove air trapped inside. Now cover and cook over medium-low heat for 10 minutes.
Ooh, it smells really good. They're getting bigger.
After 10 minutes, spoon the sauce from the pan over the tofu pockets and continue cooking until the liquid is almost evaporated. Now turn off the heat and transfer the tofu pockets to a plate. It's okay if they overlap on the plate. Now let's season the rice. In a small bowl, mix the rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. Add the seasoning in 2 parts to the rice, mixing gently. Fan the rice to cool it. Then mix again. Okay, time to put it all together. Gently squeeze the tofu pockets to remove excess liquid. Open the top of each tofu skin and fold it backward halfway to prepare the tofu for the rice. Now section the rice into 10 equal parts. Now the fun part. With wet hands, take a small amount of rice and fill the tofu pocket. Now for the final part, fold back the skin. To close the pocket, fold the back skin first, then the right side, and then the left side. And finally the front. These Inari Sushi are perfect to take to work for lunch and pair well with the plastic wrap sushi roll. If you want to make these rolls too, check out this other video. Wow, look at that. I want to cut one in half so you can see what it looks like. The half version. There we go. Okay. See that? Look at that. Nice and compact in there. That's gonna be so good. Okay, we gotta try this. Wow, the tofu absorbs all the juice and it oozes into your mouth and gives a great flavor to the rice. This combo of tofu and rice is so different from any other sushi. It's sweet, tangy, and the tofu gives it that meaty texture. And even though the tofu's deep fried, you wouldn't know it because it's not greasy at all. This homemade Inari Sushi is on a whole different level. Totally worth making yourself. They do sell the pre-flavored tofu skins in cans, but they're usually way too sweet, and they aren't nearly as light and fluffy. And that's it, Inari Sushi made from scratch. Simple, portable, and packed with history. Give it a try, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Japanese adventures. See you next time, sayonara!